I've spent some time with Pokemon Violet, and I want to say up front that I'm not going to do one of these videos where I have the cringy faced thumbnail telling you that this is the worst game ever to get you to like, subscribe, or even watch. And I'm not going to tell you that it's fantastic and there's nothing wrong with it. But what I will tell you is that there is a lot here that's positive for the future of the Pokemon franchise. And there is a lot here if you are a fan of this game. If you're a fan of Pokemon, there is a lot to love. And there are quite a few issues. So let's start off with those. Before I talk about those, though, I'd like to stress that when we talk about the Nintendo Switch, we have Xenoblade Chronicles 3, we have Zelda Breath of the Wild, we even have a port of Nier Automata, and all of those games run pretty well on the Switch. Xenoblade Chronicles 3, a huge open world with tons of things to see and tons of things to do. The same with Zelda Breath of the Wild. So, if we're being honest with our audience, if we're not trying to get you to click on something based on hate and cringy thumbnails, like we know who that is, who those people are, I'll say that if those games rationally can exist on the Switch and run really well, then something like Pokemon in an open world should be able to as well. And if it doesn't, then it must be something inherent to the developer and the scope and the reach of this game, rather than the Switch in general. Now, the Switch is not a powerful system, I'm not saying that, but we have examples of games that are very large, like the aforementioned, and they run very well. So, the problems with this game are obviously the ones that you've heard about. There are a little bit of bugs here and there. There's some slowdown. Distant objects are operating at a lower frame rate than the objects that are close to you. Is it distracting? Yeah, sure it is. You'll notice it. Does it detract from the overall experience? I would say no if you're a fan of Pokemon and you want to see this first foray into an open world. Here I am, early on, rummaging around the house. I love the use of colors. I love the character models. I just really enjoy what they've done here. And when I get out into the world, it is very large. It is very detailed. It's cool to explore. And that's what's important. There's a sense of exploration. There's a sense of wonder. And I think that is central to what they were going for in an open world Pokemon style game. And of course, Game Freak, this is their first open world game. I feel like they're not really capable of getting it right the first time. Maybe they don't have the technical prowess as somebody like Monolith Soft. Maybe Nintendo should have got Monolith Soft to help Game Freak because, like I said, Xenoblade Chronicles 3, especially after the patch for Xenoblade Chronicles 3, is a almost near flawless experience, and that world is just as huge as this one, and there are tons more things in that world to interact with. So it is not inherent to the Switch just being a bad system. Ultimately, I feel like this was something that they had in their mind that they wanted to do, and maybe their reach exceeded their grasp, and they didn't have the technical prowess to create this large open world. This is the first time Game Freak is doing this. And when you look at things rationally, I'm talking to the audience that's listening to this video. I love video games, and I don't want you to be negative. I don't want to spread that negativity or that anger just to get you to click. If you rationally think about some of the games that are really large and work extremely well on the Switch, again, I'll repeat those: Xenoblade Chronicles 3, Breath of the Wild, Nier Automata. If you think about those games, then the idea that the Switch is at fault for this kind of falls to the wayside, and hopefully Game Freak can get some help, release a patch, because ultimately, while I'm playing this game, I'm having a very good time. It is very engaging. It is very fun. And when you get out into that open world, there is this sense of wonder and exploration, and you want to be able to just go everywhere. And of course, you can. And that's the hook, this sense of wonder and exploration and you can tackle these missions any way you want. It's not as linear as past games, and Arceus tried this to a degree, but this is sort of the natural evolution from Arceus, and I think this is what's going to be the future for the Pokemon franchise. I do think that this is a very, very good Pokemon game. I'm having a good time with it so far. If you're a fan, it's a no-brainer. You're gonna find things that are a little bit annoying when it comes to performance issues, but you're also going to find a lot of fun and a lot of things to keep you hooked in this game. And ultimately, that's what games are all about. If you're having fun and you're enjoying something, sure, there are some technical issues with every game, but at the end of the day, they can be addressed. Now, I'm not making an excuse here and saying that this should have released with all of these bugs, even though I haven't really experienced a ton of them to the point where some other YouTubers are telling you it's the worst game ever. This game sold 10 million copies in 3 days. Pokemon Scarlet, Pokemon Violet, 10 million copies in 3 days. And then there's these articles about refunds. Some YouTubers are making videos, refunds, as if 5 million people out of the 10 million all asked for refunds. It is a good game. There is the foundation of the future for the Pokemon franchise here on Nintendo consoles. Things will get better. The game will get patched, but it is not as bad as you're hearing. Here I am outside in the beginning of the game. Again, I love the use of the color here. I love just the environments, and of course, the characters don't have any voices, which is a bit of a, I would love them to be fully voiced, but at the end of the day, I don't have a problem with much that I've played here so far. Yes, there are issues. Yes, you'll run into them. Are they going to break the game for you? The odds of that happening are incredibly small. However, I do feel like there is a lot here to love. Let me know if you tried Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet. I got Violet just because that's my color. And if you're having a good time, if you run into any bugs that have forced you to stop the game completely, and are you excited about what they've done here for the future? Are you excited about the future of the Pokemon franchise in a large open world? I know I am. I know that I'm really excited for where this game is going to take me. I'm very excited for the inevitable patch, which I'm sure all the cringy face thumbnail YouTubers will go back in and make another video because rather than get a real job, they need you to click so that they can buy ramen noodles for dinner with 6 other roommates. I don't know what's going on in the world. Anyway, guys, I don't think it's this bad of a game. I think it's very fun. Look at the large open world here. It takes a bit of getting used to, but ultimately, you can tackle all of these things however you see fit. There's a great sense of exploration. Take a look at the graphics here. I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm old, but I love art style like this. I love the animations. I just like the idea of here's a world and I can explore it. And it's the Pokemon franchise. So if you're like me, I'm sure you'll find a lot of fun in this game. You will find some things that are annoying, but they can be addressed, like I said. And ultimately, if other games that are much larger work on the Switch, then it's not the Switch, it's the developer. And hopefully Game Freak got the message that with a franchise this large, it's not okay to release it. If you need more time, take more time. Maybe Nintendo should have stepped in and said, hey, we'll get you some help. Maybe they should have given them more time. I don't know. Either way, I'm very happy that I purchased the game. I'm having a good time with it, and I really think fans will too. Thanks for watching the video. Like and subscribe, and if you would, maybe share the video out on your favorite social media platform of choice, and I'll see you in the next video.